Hey guys, welcome back to the backyard garden tour. Now I wanted to preface this a little bit. When I had done the front tour, I mentioned, you can check our short feed for some of the things that we've done in that front garden. The way we shoot those shorts is a lot more in advance, so you may not see some of those things, so I do apologize for that.
You will eventually.
You will eventually. I upload them pretty much every day, so I've got a backlog of stuff. So we can come out into the garden and do like 6, 7, 8 different things and have shorts for like 2 weeks. So I do apologize if it's not right there, but just keep watching those. That's what we specialize in. And like I said, we'll keep doing these garden tours in long form. So if you guys like videos like this and you want to see more garden tours, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Click that bell notification. It'll tell you when we upload a brand new video, whether it be short or long form. So this is the backyard garden tour for April for 2026, and this is going to be April's tour. So let's get started. So just looking here from the gate, you can kind of see the condition that the house was in whenever we first bought the property. There was absolutely nothing going on in this backyard. So we are about to take you on a tour of what it looks like now. So sit back and enjoy.
Okay, so we are going to start here at the gate when you come from the side yard to the backyard. So coming into the gate here, on my right side here, we have some crenum lily, and we have a couple of columbines. And then up here in my double wash basin planter, we have some ferns. And I believe these are the impatiens. Yep, those are shade impatiens. Got 4 different colors of those. Another milk and wine there. That was a daffodil, another milk and wine, and another planter with some polka dot plant and some spike grass. We still have a little bit of cleanup to do here, getting some of these leaf out, but that's okay. We'll get around to it eventually, right, Drew?
That's right.
That's what we say.
Eventually.
This is a crepe myrtle tree, and then a forsythia. Some bee balm is growing up over there, coming back. Right here is the mailbox that you've already seen in a video, and then underneath is some spiderwort that we transplanted. And then back here, we used to have a planter that had some morning glory growing in it, and it dropped some seed, and so all these little green spots are morning glories coming up. So I've put a little trellis right there, and I'm going to let a few of them grow, but some of the others that are way out here, we'll pull those out. Okay, so then we've kind of met, here's the sitting area, the pergola. Drew found this bicycle on the side of the road and brought it home for me, and we have used it as a yard decor piece and put some coral bell and some more impatiens in there. Around the ring of the tree is a bunch of monkey grass. We had a neighbor several years ago that was just pulling it and leaving it on the side of the road for free. And of course I went to get it. And we just had a very little bit, but we put it around the base of this tree and the other sycamore tree on the other side of the yard. And we'll get to that in a minute. But it has just slowly spread and gets a little bit more every year. So that's really nice. Over here in this spot, we planted Jerusalem artichokes, so we're waiting on those to grow right there. And in this empty spot, I would like to get the Munchkin hydrangea, oak leaf hydrangea that we have spotted at the nursery. So that's a goal to get that right here. And come back this way. We'll just come back here to the porch. I have a couple pots here, some marigolds and some vinca, periwinkle. And over there is the blue angel rose of Sharon, catgrass, ponytail palm. And there's a pot of coleus up here next to the porch, the door to the end of the house. So if we face the yard from the back door here, we have our pathway to the sitting area out there. And we are working on building up all of this area. And I think Drew may sneak in later, kind of a sneaky peeky.
Let's just say a goal in mind that we have for this area.
Goals, but we've planted that little sweet spire, and then there's a lavender there, and then there's 2 more lavenders over there, and then of course on this left side. And then the 2 planters here on either side of the path are my herb garden. I have 9 different herbs there. We can kind of walk this path.
And we put these little fences in front of these to keep the animals from trampling them.
Yes, we have a couple of big dogs. When they come running outside, they just run and would trample everything to death if we didn't have something to kind of protect it for a while.
We do have a little sitting area over there.
Yep, next to the grill so we can sit and eat. And so back over here, flanking on either side of the opening of the sitting area, is these 2 big planters that we put up a couple weeks ago. And they're growing and filling in really well.
Yeah, we use the
trailing,
the thriller,
vinca.
filler, spiller method on those.
We did. And everything's doing very, very well. In the sitting area, we just have a little pot there with a marigold and then a petunia over there. And behind are the other 2 arborvitae. We have 2 in the front, as Drew showed you earlier, or in the previous front yard tour video. And back here we have those 2, and they will grow and kind of fill in and give this space a little bit more privacy and a little bit more of a sunblock when the sun is directly over there in the west in the evening. As it goes down, it just really, really hot under here. So we're hoping that will kind of help block some of that. And right over here next to the fence, stopping. So we're starting back up where we left off. We had the forsythia, some bee balm. Here's a sedum, daffodil that's going out. Some more bee balm that's growing here. And then there's some back behind it. It's coming back where it seeded itself a little bit. That's good. This is going to be a rattlesnake master and some purple heart. And this rattlesnake master, we are noticing, has seeded and growing babies all over the place. So some of these we are going to be moving around. Some will stay where they are, but some will get moved around. Another milk and wine back there. That's another rattlesnake master here. This little area is another work in progress, but these are daylilies, a couple of rattlesnake masters. That's the surprise plant that we still don't know what it is yet.
So I've tried to identify this several different ways, and the plant ID that I've been using here lately is calling it a late blooming boneset. I believe that's what it is. I'll put it on the screen, but I still don't know what kind of blooms that are going to come out of that.
Yeah, we're still waiting to find out. So, but here are the cannas that we've planted recently. So there's 3 cannas there, and as you see, there's some green, so they're growing. That's a milk and wine. There's more cannas over here. The 3 different colors of mandevilla, the 2 planters with the vinca, and Swoop of iris. This canna is dead. It just came straight out of the ground.
Yeah, we tried.
Yep. They, when you get them given to you, when they're just pulled out and in a bag, you just do what you got to do. They either will live or they won't. This is going to be Blazing Star Liatris, as is that one over there. There's some more milk and wine. And then these are my big honeysuckle. This one is a red, and that one is yellow. Drift roses, pink and peach. And they just will stay absolutely covered in blooms all season long. They are so easy.
About as easy as knockout roses.
Mm-hmm. But they stay about this size. They might get a little bit bigger, but they're not going to get near as big as a knockout rose would get. So if this is something, if you want an easy keeper rose that gives you a lot of color, drift roses are your smaller version, and then of course your knockout roses. Those kind of roses don't need the attention. They're more disease resistant than the regular type of roses that we've all grown up with, like the old-fashioned roses. Also, these do not have to be defoliated. They will keep most all of their green all winter long. You don't have to deadhead them. But regular roses, you do have to defoliate in the spring, meaning if there's any leaves left over from the wintertime, you have to pull them all off. You have to deadhead most of them, and there's more prone to disease with those. So if you want less work, more bang for your buck, drift and knockouts are the way to go. Another rattlesnake master. This is Mexican petunia, and I have not pulled the old stuff from last year, but it's easy just to come in here and break it off. Mexican petunia, we planted it with maybe like 1 or 2 little plants.
Yep.
And it has spread. So it will spread and take over a spot over time. Also, it will have these beautiful purple flowers, but each flower only lasts 1 day. And it's beautiful, but at the end of the day, it literally just falls off. But you'll have new ones. So it's not like it's ever without flowers. So that's wonderful. These are daylilies. This is my big patch of mint and spearmint. It's a point of contention with Drew and I.
And why is that?
Because it was one tiny little peppermint plant and one tiny little spearmint plant, and it has spread. I love it. I don't mind it at all. Now, a lot of people don't like that because it will spread all over the world if you let it. It can be very invasive. So if you don't want that, keep it in a pot. Either in a pot upright somewhere, or you could put it in a pot and put it in the ground in the pot. Just know that it could creep over the edge and continue to spread out if you, but anyway.
Yeah, I'll show you kind of what the underside looks like, because it has like runners.
Yeah, it spreads through underground runners, and it just keeps going.
Like there's some runners right there. So they kind of spread out on top of the ground as well as under the ground.
But it smells so good. It's delightful.
But if you just run your hand through there messing with it, it's heavenly.
You just rub it in your hand like that. Peppermint. Okay. This one is another big honeysuckle. This is pink, and it has already flushed out once, but it's getting ready to do it again. And I found this on a woodland edge in a neighborhood where Drew's family used to live. And I dug it up as a little bitty piece. And now it's huge. It could probably stand to be clipped back a little bit.
Probably. I like how she said that.
A little bit. But I love it. So moving on over here, we have some more monkey grass, some Asiatic lilies, which are in full bloom right now.
Looking glorious.
Yes. So those are the Asiatics. There's a few more back here. These are all daylilies. This will be a future project. I want to turn this into my little fairy garden. I have little pieces, you know, the little houses and things. Fill that up, and we'll do that. We'll show you how. And then here is another rattlesnake master. This is the snowball viburnum, which it's already done its thing. It's done.
I'll put a picture or video that I took of it when it was in bloom, so you guys can see what it looked like.
This is a big tree growing in the big middle of it that we need to clip out of there.
Gotta love those random trees.
Yep.
Speaking of tree.
Little bit of Gara coming back right there. And right now, that's part of the yard we don't want to discuss because it's in progress.
Yep, this is where we had
tree.
our tree cut down real quick. Let me run over this. If you guys haven't seen our short, this was a big ash tree that stood right here.
And he's saying ash, A-S-H.
Yeah. But it was a pain in our ash.
It was.
But we had it cut down, and we just haven't got to the point of getting it mulched up. But that's what that is. So don't look there. Okay,
Yeah.
Continue.
No judging. Okay, this is a mimosa tree. It has grown so much in the last few years.
This is 4th year, right?
It is, yeah.
And how big was it when we got it?
Like a sapling. I put it in a pot and babied it for the first 2 years almost.
Yeah.
And then once it got probably about this big, only about this big, not very big at all. We planted it here. We put a tomato cage over it again, keep the dogs from trampling it, till it got a little bit bigger, and it's just going for it. It is doing so well. I just love it. So back over here, this is my little iris island. Back here, some blue stem grass that's not quite come back yet, but it will. So it'll have some blue stem grass back there. These are the pink double knockout roses, which again, we got them in the clearance because they weren't doing very well. If you catch things at the end of the season, specifically at the big box stores, they'll have like a clearance section because of the stuff that has been sitting there for the summer and either get sick or just dried out, whatever. Take a look at some of that stuff because we get a lot of things on clearance that way. And if you get it home and take good care of it, this is what you get. This is only 2 years old, and these are already this big, and they were this little when we bought them.
We're in the 3rd season right now.
Yeah. Bunch of iris. There's a milk and wine. I cannot remember for the life of me what that bush is. I can't remember if it's a burning bush or a smoke bush. I want to say it was something like that, but I cannot recall. And it's finally growing. It's taken a couple of years. I thought for a minute it wasn't going to do it. But
yeah, it's been as tall as these little cutoffs right here. This is about as big as it's gotten until this year.
Yep. Another milk and wine. Lots and lots of iris here. Some blanket flower that has seeded. I started with one over there, and it has reseeded all of these. That rattlesnake master that's growing there also seeded itself. Got one little blanket flower bloom right here. And I see some more morning glory babies.
Oh no.
Yeah. They've blown all over. These are all morning glory babies right here.
Yep. Can't let those go.
There and there.
Morning glories are not good.
Well, they're good if they're
where
contained. You want them. Yeah. Another milk and wine bird bath. Milk and wine. That's Hildegard.
She guards the bird bath.
She guards that. Here's the other ring of monkey grass stick. And you can look up and see our robin in her nest. I'm so pleased. She sits and watches over us as she sits on her eggs. So again, we have the seating area with some celosia and a petunia in pots. And then this other, obviously, our whole yard is a work in progress all the time. But this is one bed we really need to work on more.
This is really the first year that we've put a lot of effort into our garden, though.
True. It's been a minute. So, spiderwort that we transplanted, some vinca and some marigold, a couple of milk and wine, Lady Cluck and her youngin'. And I don't know if these are tiger lilies or phlox. I planted them as little bulbs a couple years ago, and they didn't come back for a while, and now they have, and now I don't know what they are.
I identified them as Easter lilies.
We'll see. They haven't ever put out a flower yet, to my recollection.
Yeah, they just get real big, like tall like that, and we don't see anything.
There's the azalea that we've moved. We hope it will do better over here.
We gave it some acidifier as well just today, so we'll see.
Get that watered in this evening when we water. Another milk and wine, big cat mint. Sorry, Walker's Low cat mint. And one more milk and wine, and that's just a couple of little gladiolus back there that are coming up. This is what we call our memorial bed. You'll see the little statues of little pets. This is our little memorial bed for all our little pets that we've lost over the years. We've got Sophie, Brenna, Riley, Tigger, Bash. 3 dogs, 2 cats. And this whole area we have big plans for. So as soon as all this tree is gone, we can start working on said plants. Then we go back here into the secret garden. Again, we have some big plans for the secret garden. This is going to get retooled a little bit, but there's already stuff growing, y'all. And I did not plant a thing back here yet. This is all stuff that's come back from last year's seeds. We've got all of this. This is all morning glories. Couple of milk and wines. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 milk and wines. There is some Cosmos coming back. That already has some flower on it back there. We have the Orange Glow Knockout Rose that we planted a couple weeks ago.
Here, kind of walk back
in there. And this bed here that's around the greenhouse, there's Cosmos growing in it. There's some Morning Glory. That's a sunflower. Drew says we got to yank them all out because we're not going to let them take over our lives this year.
If you'd have seen them, they towered over this greenhouse, and then it was just a royal mess back here once they died off.
Well, you know. These are hollyhocks. They're doing very well. Back here is our hibiscus. And it's a perennial hibiscus. It'll come back every year. And I think I said it's Perfect Storm, right? It's the pink one.
Mm-hmm. I think we had one over here where the rose is at right now, and it was the Summerific, I believe.
Well, Summerific is the brand because that one is also a Summerific. But it's the Summerific Perfect Storm because that's the color. I cannot remember what the other one's color was.
My apologies.
Yep. Oh, I see sunflowers galore in there.
Yep.
And a milk vine that needs to get yanked out.
Them.
So I think what we're going to do is remove these planters, and what I really want to do is soften this whole area back here and just, have you heard of chaos gardening? That's what I want to do back here. I just want to have just very soft,
wispy
flower beds with just a whole bunch of cottagey flowers and plants in here. And we've already got a lot of seedlings in there for some of the things, like the delphinium and the foxgloves, zinnias, the hollyhocks. So
yeah, give you a little sneak peek in there for that.
Yeah, they're doing very well. I opened the lid earlier. It's hot in there. Oh my gosh, those zinnias. They're done. They want out of there.
Yeah, they do.
They want out of there bad.
And our yucca finally
there's 2 of them.
has come up.
I'm so happy. I'll just leave that open for now.
So like April said, this is big plans, and just like the front the front of the tour in the backyard, how I gave you a sneak peek. So let me get back here where you can see, because this is the perspective that I have. So it is going to go from this to this. And as you can see, the chaos gardening that April spoke of, the arbor, of course, is not going to be that big, but you know, we were going to make use of what we have and retool it to look like that. But we've got a long way to go. And the reason why this is so unkept looking is because we used to have a pool right here, a big 6
which
by 12
we just took down.
pool, and we just took it down. So all of that's just, just sand and debris that we've got to get cleared out. And now we've got to reconfigure all of that to match our dream. So
that is the end of April 2026 backyard tour. Stay with us. We'll do this at the end of every month, kind of show you how things have changed, how things are growing, and bear with us because this is going to be a long, slow process. But we're going to do it eventually, right?
Right. So we hope you guys enjoyed those 2 tours. Like I said, we're going to try and do that on a monthly basis at the end of each month, so you guys can see the progression of the gardens themselves, not only the hardscape, but also how everything is progressing in flower form as well.
That's right.
So if you guys have any comments, tips, suggestions that you want to put down below, be sure and do so. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. That way you'll be notified when we upload anything brand new. And like I said, we really specialize in those short form videos, and we have one just about every day of the week. So don't forget to check those out. And until next month for the next garden tour, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, guys.